Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here again to, well, cut through the noise and get you the insights you really need. Today, we're taking a close look at a project that's definitely been making some significant waves in DeFi. It's called Aifex, or AFX. Our mission, really, is to pull out the key nuggets from a strategic analysis we've seen, focusing on its potential and, honestly, its fascinating market position. What makes Aifex stand out, you might ask? Well, it's not just tossing another token onto the pile. It seems to be this really potent mix of AI and decentralized finance. Puts it right at the intersection of some huge global trends. Strategically, it demands attention.
Precisely. And for anyone trying to figure out not just what's happening in finance, but, where it's all heading, Aifex is more than just a token. It presents this compelling strategic story, could really reshape how we see tech and finance coming together. The analysis suggests it's built for the long haul. And if you look at the snapshot, this was August 20th, 6 p.m., the numbers alone are intriguing. AFX price at $18.08, fully diluted valuation, FDV, and the market cap are identical, $3.03 billion. But what really jumps out, that massive liquidity pool, $1.42 billion. These aren't just stats. They're like, tremors, signals something big is happening. Very deliberate.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that, because those numbers, especially that liquidity pool, definitely grab your attention right away. The analysis we reviewed really honed in on that $1.42 billion TVL, calling it abnormally large. And getting that much capital together in less than 20 days, that's, well, it's almost unheard of. Screams long-term commitment, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's not just impressive, it's strategic. A very clear proof of capital.
Imagine like a startup launching not just with a great idea, but billions already banked. It changes the whole perception, right? From just a hopeful idea to a serious, well-funded player. That huge liquidity, it sends a clear message, especially to institutional investors. It basically says, we're a serious player. It builds immediate trust, stability, sets them apart from typical crypto launches that might feel more short-term. It's about reducing that perceived risk for the big money.
Right, which is crucial. Institutional folks are always looking for those signals, ways to de-risk, especially with crypto's reputation for volatility. Which brings us to that other really interesting point, the market cap matching the FDV, both at $3.03 billion. We don't see that every day in crypto. What's the strategic thinking there? Why is that so significant? Yeah, that's not just some technical detail. It's really a masterclass in managing supply, a huge green flag for trust. When MC equals FDV, it basically means the token supply is locked down tight. No hidden surprises, no extra tokens planned to flood the market and dilute everyone later. It shows incredible discipline from day one, a very deflationary approach. Think back to the early days of, say, BNB or SOL. They used similar controlled supply models, often leads to faster price growth as demand picks up, right? Aifex seems to be doing this through things like, well, aggressive token burning to cut supply, enhance scarcity. Also, strategic staking locks, getting users to commit tokens, taking them off the market for a while. And these referral campaigns that aren't just about numbers, but getting people to hold the token long term, it feels very, very deliberate, surgical almost.
Okay, so they're attracting serious capital and showing serious discipline in how they manage the tokens for long-term value.
Yeah.
Smart. Beyond the financials, the analysis also flagged this incredibly fast user growth. What was it? 6,858,000 global accounts in under a month. That growth rate is, ooh.
It's absolutely stunning. And another key part of their strategy, I think, rapid growth isn't just for show. It's about building a real active community, an ecosystem. If they keep users engaged, the analysis suggests, yeah, they could easily break into the top 5 DeFi protocols globally. Remember Binance back in, 2017, 2018? It wasn't just the coin. It was the platform, the utility, attracting millions, creating network effects. Aifex looks like it's on a similar path, building something real, not just launching a token and hoping. That kind of fast adoption says a lot about their product and execution.
Right, so we've covered the strong foundations, the liquidity, the controlled supply, the user growth. Now this is where, for me, it gets really interesting. Let's shift to the long-term vision, the big picture. We're talking about connecting to global capital markets. The roadmap includes plans for an IPO, not just one, but potentially on both the HKEX Hong Kong Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. And get this, an option to convert Aifex tokens into actual company shares. The ambition there. A DeFi project aiming for Nasdaq and HKEX. That's just breathtaking.
It is. And honestly, this is a massive differentiator, almost unique in the DeFi space. A stroke of genius, strategically. Think about institutional investors. They're often wary of crypto, right? The volatility, the regulatory unknowns. By going for a dual IPO and offering that token-to-share conversion, Aifex is positioning itself as this vital bridge, not just linking CeFi and DeFi, but carving out a clear, regulated path into traditional finance. TradFi. It's all about building trust and access for that trillion-dollar institutional market. If they pull this off, it could trigger a huge re-rating of Aifex's value. It stops being just a DeFi token. It becomes a fintech unicorn and then maybe a public company. It's about lowering the risk for institutional capital, unlocking massive investment pools currently on the sidelines. It's like they're trying to build this entirely new kind of financial structure simultaneously in two major global finance hubs. It's bold.
A powerful bridge, definitely. And the engine driving this seems to be that combination, AI plus DeFi. Sounds buzzy, sure, but the analysis suggests this blend is incredibly potent. Can you break that down a bit? How exactly does Aifex plan to use AI with DeFi? What makes that combo strategically compelling?
Right, it's more than just buzzwords. It's core to their proposed AI-DeFi Bank concept. Imagine AI managing your DeFi strategies, optimizing yield farming, cutting gas fees, automatically rebalancing your portfolio, real-time stuff. Or think about predictive AI for risk management in decentralized lending. Better default prediction, maybe, personalized financial services on the blockchain based on your actual behavior, your risk profile. This could genuinely change how we interact with finance, moving from static rules to dynamic, intelligent systems that learned. It's about claiming that next frontier. The market's moving towards this AI finance wave. Investors are looking for the winners in that space. Aifex calling itself an AI DeFi bank. That's a strong claim for category ownership. A bit like how Solana initially positioned itself as an Ethereum killer, offering something distinct. If that narrative catches on, Aifex could command a serious valuation premium over typical DeFi projects because it hits two massive transformative trends, AI and finance. It's about creating and leading a whole new market segment.
Owning a new segment, FinTech AI Bank. That is a bold play indeed. Okay, so connecting all these strategies, the capital, the tokenomics, the user growth, the AI, the IPO bridge, what does this mean for actual future growth? Let's get into those potential growth scenarios the analysis laid out. They give a real sense of the scale Aifex might be targeting.
Absolutely. The analysis maps out a few possibilities, highlighting that strategic potential. Let's start with the base case. This is looking at Q4 2025. Assumes solid, but maybe not world-beating, execution. After just 1 month of that token burning and the referral campaigns, the project supply could drop by about 20%. User base keeps growing strongly, maybe hitting 10 million accounts globally. In that scenario, the market cap could climb from the current $3.03 billion to maybe $5.7 billion, and the token price potentially $28-35. So decent growth driven by that managed scarcity and growing user base.
Okay, that's the base case. Still pretty strong. What about the more optimistic views?
Right, so the bull case. This one is projected before a potential HKEX listing, really emphasizing that bridge effect. It assumes the Hong Kong IPO goes well, and crucially, significant institutional money starts flowing in, validating their whole approach. In that environment where TradFi really starts engaging, the market cap could surge. We're talking $15-20 billion, which would push the token price up into the 90-11-20 range. That's reflecting that re-rating we talked about, being valued more like a serious fintech player.
Wow, okay. That's a significant jump. And then there was an even more bullish scenario.
Yeah, the extreme bull case. This envisions what happens after a successful Nasdaq listing, plus achieving real mass adoption globally. This is where that AI DeFi Bank narrative really takes hold, becomes dominant, maybe like BNB's narrative did for its ecosystem. Here, with full institutional buy-in, mainstream acceptance, the market cap could go past $100 billion, a huge number, and the token price potentially reaching $500-800, maybe within 2-3 years. Now, obviously, these are aggressive projections. They depend on flawless execution of a very complex strategy.
Important to stress, these are projections from the analysis, not crystal ball gazing. But they really do illustrate the potential scale if the strategy plays out. They show the possible futures based on this strong foundation and, frankly, a very ambitious, detailed plan.
Exactly. So, summarizing the strategy here, Aifex is clearly not some meme coin, right? It's designed from the ground up to scale massively and to plug directly into institutional finance, global capital markets. Its biggest strengths highlighted in the analysis, that huge liquidity, undeniable proof of capital right at the start, and the fact FDV equals market cap, signaling that tight, undiluted supply, setting the stage for value growth as demand builds. These aren't accidents, they're core strategic pillars.
And that vision, successfully listing on HKEX and Nasdaq, it's just groundbreaking. If they manage that, it's not just a win for Aifex, it becomes the world's first real case study. A DeFi token evolving into a public fintech AI bank that could literally redraw the map for DeFi and how it connects with traditional markets. So for you, listening in, if you're a short-term investor, the analysis shows momentum. But if you're thinking long-term strategy, where are the next financial powerhouses coming from? Well, AFEX might just be an opportunity to get in on what some are already calling the new BNB. So here's something to think about as you consider all this. If AFEX does successfully bridge that gap, connects the revolutionary potential of DeFi with the established power of traditional stock markets, how might that fundamentally redefine what we even expect from a financial institution, and maybe change the very nature of investment itself?